By now, many of you have already seen the video that has gone viral on social media that involved Kelly Rowland and this, I guess, security guard or whoever she is working at the Cannes Film Festival. Now, if you don't know what the Cannes Film Festival is, it's one of those big festivals out there. It's up there with the Tribeca Film Festival. Also, I believe it's one that's in Canada. I can't think of the name of it right now. Of course, Sundance is definitely one of the most notable ones. But Cannes is definitely up there as one of the top film festivals in the world. And Kelly Rowland was there as a guest. I don't know, she probably was invited. And, she's there on the red carpet, showing off her gown, showing off her looks, getting pictures, talking to the press and all of that good stuff. But as she was trying to take pictures and all this type of stuff, she's basically being kind of pushed out of the way and kind of moved out of the way by this PC, I guess, French security guard or security personnel or whoever worked there, as you can see by the picture that's in the circle next to her on the screen. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to insert the video and you can watch for yourself. Now, I had to mute it because the video clip that's shown has a song by her that's clearly copyrighted playing, but the visual is really all you need. So you saw what happened right there. Now, of course, with no sound, you really don't get a gist of what happens. But even with the sound of her music playing in there, the footage that I did see, even without her music being played in the background, whoever uploaded it, there was no sound. It was like a silent video anyway. And then, with the only way you would have heard anything that she was saying is if she was mic'd up. So all you saw was her, telling the woman like chill, back up and everything. And let me tell you something, whenever a woman, especially a black woman, lifts up that index finger and starts to do the point thing and it's like near your face, that means she means business. Now, all of us grew up with black mothers, knows what that finger means. We know that mother means business, like she's putting her foot down. Now, the story goes is that this lady had stepped on her dress because as you can see, Kelly Rowland had on this red gown that had a train, and when you have those on, you're not supposed to walk up or so close to the person up behind them because you can easily step on it and you can easily ruin the gown, or at the very least pull it down. And as you can see, she has one of those halter type of dresses. She doesn't have any support straps, so one pull and tug can pull her and expose her chest. So she's like, the first time it was like, okay, it was an accident, so on and so forth. But the next time, Kelly looks like, now she's clearly annoyed, because now it's like, first you're gonna step on my dress, then you're gonna tell me to try to rush me off. I'm trying to wave to the fans, way up to the press and all of that good stuff, because clearly she's still hearing her name being called. And she's just trying to give them, the attention she felt they deserved. And then she looks back up at her again, and then that's when it gets a little bit more personal. And that's when the video just kind of went viral. And I think one of the things that some people were scared of was going to happen was that Kelly Rowland was going to be painted as the angry black woman, or the woman that's just getting out of turn, especially after what's just happened with Jasmine Crockett and Marjorie Taylor Greene and how that kind of blew up. So now people are going to try to say the same thing about Kelly. Luckily for me, at least I haven't seen anything that alludes to that. A lot of people were on Kelly's side, especially because another reason I say that is because if y'all remember a couple months ago, Kelly Rowland was supposed to co-host the Today Show or Good Morning America, one of those shows, but it was right around the time after the Super Bowl when Beyonce had announced she was doing that Cowboy Carter album, and Kelly was there to promote that movie that she did with Tyler Perry on Netflix, and she gave that look in the camera like, why are you bringing up Beyonce right now? We're here to talk about me and this new movie I got coming out. That was one thing, and the other thing that went out was that allegedly the green room that she was supposed to be in wasn't prepared. It wasn't feasible, at least for her and her makeup team and her wardrobe team and all of that stuff. And then she apparently left the set right before they were supposed to tape, because she was supposed to co-host as well, be a stand-in or filler for one of the regular hosts that wasn't there. So again, they probably tried to paint her some type of way then. All I'm saying is this: Kelly Rowland said, this year I'm putting my foot down. You're not just going to think you're going to run over me and think that's just going to be okay. People forget this woman, I think, was born in Atlanta but raised in Houston along with Beyonce. So she's a Southern girl, and she's not going to take too much. This woman has seen and been around a lot. She's in her early 40s, and I think she's a mother of 2. And you would never know it, 1, that she's in her early 40s, and 2, that she had 2 kids just by looking at her, because she ages gracefully. She looks even better without makeup. Just saying. But she's just letting people know that this is not going to happen. But then she also put out another video basically explaining or giving a little bit more dialogue about what happened, I guess, to try to let people know about what happened, since again there was no audio for us to hear what happened. We just saw a visual of what happened, so I'm going to insert that clip right here.
The woman knows what happened. I know what happened, and I have a boundary, and I stand by those boundaries, and that is it. And there were other women that attended that carpet who did not quite look like me, and they didn't get there scolded or pushed off or told to get off. And I stood my ground, and she felt like she had to stand hers, but I stood my ground. And that's it.
Okay, so y'all just heard right there. That was her explanation about what happened during the red carpet and what happened, the event happened again, so she could kind of explain to people what was going on. And one thing I'm a good reader of is body language and even facial expressions. To anyone out there that just saw that, did that look like Kelly was trying to fight back tears? Almost like she was trying to hold back from crying, to the sense of like she said in the video, she stood her ground. Like she said, she has boundaries and you're going to respect her boundaries. And I'm all about respecting boundaries, because I know that I would want my boundaries to be respected. One of the things that we as human beings love is our own personal space. We don't like people getting up in our space when it isn't warranted. And that's exactly what happened here, or how she felt what happened here. But I think she was fighting back tears because she felt like, in my opinion, that she didn't need to explain about what happened. Like, why was she being questioned about what happened? This almost goes back again to the whole Jasmine Crockett situation. If y'all didn't know, when after what Jasmine Crockett said, when she had did interviews, there were 2 in particular that she did. One with, I think, Jake Tapper, and he was asking her, does she regret how she responded to Marjorie Taylor Greene as if she did something wrong? And I think another person that asked her a question was Abby Phillip. Was basically the same thing that Jake Tapper asked her, was basically, does she feel some type of way about what she did? And y'all saw that in the video that I did about Jasmine Crockett, basically asking her, does she feel like she should not have done it? It's like, why are you making her, and the same thing with Kelly, out to be like they're the bad guy? Again, going back to the whole angry black woman trope. Why is it that you have to explain why it is that you did what you did? No one else is put on the hot seat or in the hot seat when they have to explain situations such as these. It seems to be that it's only black people, but since this is the topic of a black woman, it seems to me black women, or in this case, this black woman in many cases, always has to explain why they did what they did. No one else is made to do that. But one thing I will say to the effect of both Kelly Rowland and Jasmine Crockett is that neither one of them apologized for it. I will give them that. Because when Jasmine was asked about it and asked if she regretted, she was like, no. Kelly Rowland doesn't sound like she was even asked. She just said that I have boundaries and you're going to respect my boundaries and I'm going to stand my ground. She said she stood hers and I stood mine, and that is that. So I give kudos to those two women for not backing down when it seemed like they could have been pressed to do so. And the thing is, a lot of the media knows how this goes. They know it. That's why they ask these questions, because they always see black people, especially when it comes to cases of police brutality, of black people constantly being in this position of having to forgive, and not even so much having to forgive, but just defaulting to forgiving, and just like letting it roll off your back like nothing happened. No, those days, hopefully as a collective, are coming to an end. And I'm glad that Kelly stood her ground like she said. And the same with Jasmine Crockett.